And another day. This is Friday, and wiring loom. I need to be careful not to cover these microphones. So yeah, the injectors are done, sensors are wired in on the open wire, because this needs to be still plugged into the ECU. So this one here, this is probably one of the latest, maybe the last hybrid looms I've done, because from now we're working on the adapter. The hybrid is actually slightly better because it's integrated. This Volkswagen wiring loom just plugs into the Toyota body and Toyota system, and everything works. But now obviously, because we're gonna run, that is, I don't remember, oh no, this one not needed. Well, needed, but not in a plug. So because we're using Ignitron ECU, and Ignitron ECU is primarily was designed for, well, it was designed around 1.8 20 valve, but also can do the VR5s and VR6. However, there is a difference in wiring, in pinouts on the ECU, so we have to correct that. For example, if I put an Ignitron ECU into, plug the ECU into these plugs, it will not even power up. So the power supply is on a different pin, so we have to switch a few pins around. But they also, one of the advantages of performance or aftermarket ECU is that on the turbo engines we don't use MUF sensor. MUF sensor on the turbo system is not really reliable or that needed. Everything is run out of MUF sensor. So all of this wire, which was reaching behind the car, behind the engine for the MUF sensor, isn't needed anymore. However, because it's already wired into the ECU, we're gonna use some of the wires, not all of necessary from this, but some of the wires for different stuff. For example, the MUF sensor original on all the VR engines wasn't used, so we have to convert this wiring room to use the MUF sensor, which is not possible with the aftermarket ECU. But you know, we have to change the pins and the outputs. But the good thing is that we have a good earth, so we have the negative or the earth for the sensors, which is not the same earth as you use on the chassis, because it's kind of act like a screen, so you're not picking up the sensor is not picking up the noise, the electrical noise from the rest of the body. And then you have a 5 volts, which is supplied for these sensors here. For example, they all run 5 volts, same as a MUF sensor and a temperature sensor. And then we have the signals. Now the signal, again, will probably have to be changed in the pins. I have kind of my bit of stuff there. You got the MUF sensor plugs, intake, temperature sensor, MUF sensor, and 75 valve, which we're probably not going to use, and 75 valve, but some fancy boost control valve. But again, the pin out is exactly the same, the wiring is actually the same, just the plug will change. And then again, power wires and some more stuff, and then we have to add the additional sensor that we plugged in. So this is not difficult, but it's very fiddly and time consuming. It's gonna take me, yeah, the best part of the day. As you know, I don't like doing electrics. So here we go. Cup of coffee, audiobook, and off we go for a very boring day. Not every day is exciting. Anyways, yeah, I had to pick up new heat shrink. I don't have any of that size, so yeah, we ordered yesterday and today it was here ready to pick it up. Yeah, so do you know when we always, well, not always, but quite often complain about the companies? To send parcels we only and most likely just use UPS, because they've proven that they never lost the parcel, they never have done anything wrong. Sometimes, however, there are delays, as usual. It's just work, you know, people trying to get a work. There's many, you know, say for example a van broke down, they have to send the replacement. Sometimes they don't do in time to pick up the parcels. It's very rare, but it happens. This one here is supposed to pick up yesterday, and I'm guessing it's going to be picked up today. However, all the companies, even DPD recently, have been shocking, passing through, not even stopping, sending some random picture, actually some picture of a random door closed, saying those was business was closed, not possible to deliver, when I was literally here watching the driver driving off, looking me in the eyes and driving off. So yeah, it's frustrating. UPS, we never had that problem. That being said, there are a couple of companies in UK, they are very professional. There's two companies that are like, sometimes they're good, they're not cheap, but they're good. So first company is Torx. We use them for fittings. This is something that I explained yesterday. These are a little bit more expensive. However, if you look inside, I don't know if you can, let me check the camera. Jeez. Yeah, you probably can. It's a nice smooth transition. There's nothing on the way there. And this is good for flow. It really is good. And to be honest, this stuff is expensive anyway. You might as well spend a couple of quid more and get the best you can have. Now, Torx, usually it's incredible. We ordered this stuff yesterday, not even in the morning, about lunchtime roughly today. And let me check what the time is. Well, it's 11:30, so 24 hours, and it's here. We ordered it yesterday, roughly the same time today is here. All four of the fittings and the line. Now, the only thing they didn't have, it was those adapters, because we, instead of me fucking about and modifying the adapters, oh come on, one-handed, come on, there's a lot of stuff you can do with one hand. You can remove that from the package. It's gonna happen, come on, it's gonna happen. Yes, come on, oh fuck's sake. Mate, come on, that's tight. That's tight. How the fuck did they fit that in it? Oh, gee. Oh, fuck this shit. There you go. I removed it. I don't think this is the way they packed it in. Anyways, instead of modifying the two together, yeah, fuck it, let's just get these. They're even less expensive, and then just go here and actually short thread there, so they just go in. And from here, there's two of them. From here, now we're gonna get at where's the 30? We've got 230 degree. I'm sorry, because they have to go actually out of the plenum, either there or here, because they have to go kind of this route. And then obviously the other two, they go to the oil cooler behind the headlamp I showed yesterday, and 4 meters of the braided line. We're not using 4 meters, but just over 3, they only 3 meters, so you need to buy 4 if you want anything more than 3. 3.1, 4 meters. Anyways, the other company, this is another one I trust. This is the two companies I buy these fittings to. So it's either Torx or Motamec. I like both. Sometimes I prefer Motamec because they have this that being said, they're probably equal. You can see that it's slightly different, but the quality is spot on. Never had any issues to fit in the lines, never had any issues of leakage or anything, and through time they've shown to be quite reliable. Even if you unscrew and screw many times, they're still there. All the Motamec or Torx stuff and fittings I have, either small or big, always been absolutely great. So in my opinion, it definitely is worth spending the money on this stuff the lower copies. Yes, Chinese eBay special stuff most of the time works, sometimes doesn't, because the angles, the top here, where it's like they call like a 45 degree angle, doesn't match the 45 degree of the machine inside there, and that precision is required to seal completely. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes I even had on the Chinese ones some leak from here or from there. When there's joints, there you have O-rings. These O-rings have to be special. They have to be resistant to oils and fuels and all the additives and everything. That stuff is good. It really is worth spending money on this. Well, I think we conclude this day here. So yeah, the wiring loom is just finished. All of the engine side, all the sensors are actually not only plugged in, but wide into the ECU. All the changes, some additional stuff here. These ones here, made them with the heat shrink, nicely, kind of like race spec. These are for intake air temperature, map sensor, boost control, solenoid. Obviously injectors you've seen already. These are actually not functional. So yeah, these sensors are now functional, both of them. Fuel pressure sensor, oil pressure sensor, everything is wired into ECU. Also finished, well not finished, but finished on the ECU side to wire up the traction control. There's a second part of the traction control that needs to be plugged in, but that goes into the control panel and it goes into the ABS unit, because we're taking the ABS sensors signals from it, because it obviously has to see the difference in the wheel speed. That's it. This is actually now ready to go in the car. I can finish obviously wiring that up. Everything works. There are a couple of things to change. There is the big 80mm for the body plug is different than the one we have here, so that one is on the way. Hopefully it's gonna be here Monday. Tomorrow is Saturday, so no chance. We need the plugs for, I don't know, I may have them, I need to see. It's gonna be tomorrow, Monday. The plugs obviously for all of these additional stuff. Obviously injectors just need plug it in. I left them on off because I was checking the continuity, because schematics and all that stuff is good, but it's, you know, just to make sure twice you check the continuity between the injector signal and what I'm doing here, because I'm picking up the signal from the injectors for the traction control, and I'm not sure how important it is, but probably it's used for something. But you have to, you should have the sequence, so injector number 1 in, injector number 1 out, and they're supposed to should match, you know, because this one actually does, we're not going to use it on this, but it does launch control or rolling on control as well. I don't know, obviously that feature is not used by this. We do it inside the ECU. This is just used for the traction control, Jesus. Also nice fittings here. Lines, they're gonna go roughly this route, and once we have them in the correct position, few P-clips to keep them obviously not moving on the engine, because engine vibrates and moves. And also obviously the oil cooler is fitted to the chassis. The engine has some movement, so there's gonna be some movement, which is fine, but you have to make sure that the movement is not, for example, where it touches anything, because that's gonna rub off eventually. Not today, not tomorrow, not in a month, but in some time that's gonna give a problem. So we have to plan everything ahead and, you know, do everything securely. This is the way you see the quality builds in time, not just when you're driving them first time. That's it. A lot of mess, a lot of stuff. Yeah, would you believe, the whole day. And when you see the result, it's like, oh, you just go these, couple of these, you know, just, you know, put the insulation back on this. Actually, there was an insulation there, you just have to strip it down. And you know, well, how many cables you got here? 6 each side. How long is it gonna take? An hour? No, bloody whole day. Because, you know, it's not just a cable, you have to know which cable, you have to trace them, you have to go through diagrams and everything, you have to make sure everything is there. And then once you got it, you have to make sure that is the ones. Hence I'm using the continuity checks and diagrams together, combined. Not just, yeah, should be fine. You know, you can't leave stuff to chances. And then obviously insulate everything again, because everything from the ECU plugs, everything had to be stripped down from the insulation up to that point, since and from there obviously I've done all the heat shrink. And trust me, this tape is not easy to come off. This is a good one. This is the cloth one. It's very flexible. I like it, but not easy to take it off. Well, that's actually this one. I can remove it now, just in case. I don't want to flap it around. Put it back in the box. There's a plug there. Yeah, so we're gonna continue. I'm not sure we're gonna be here on the weekend. Probably yes, because I really need to get the fittings for the oil cooler. I really need to get on with this and finish it as soon as I can. And maybe, possibly, I would like to get them both mapped, my frog and this. Maybe this in the first place, we take it back and then take the frog to them to Badger 5. It'll be good, because if I have to move the premises, it'll be nice for the frog to actually be driven. Otherwise I will have to get a transporter for it, and I already have to get transporter for the Silvia. Although for Silvia, someone was asking questions what deals, what not deals and everything. There was a couple of people interested in it, so it would be nice to actually sell it before we move. So if that, you know, is sold, and if the frog is drivable, then I only have my Delica outside to be moved. Everything else just moves. So yeah, Steve's car is going to be finished. That's 100%. It's not the one he's building to sell. That's really not far from being finished. He only has a couple of things left to do, and as he's usually doing everything right. So drop links and handbrake cables and everything. So yeah, that's going to be a good deal for someone. Obviously this needs to be transported, but that's a different story. This is part of the equipment in the workshop. This is customer's engine, so he will have to take it, but he's got the trailer, he's got the van, so he's got no problems to transport this back to his. Or maybe it could even be sold before he's gonna come over to pick his stuff up. Don't know, we'll see. Anyways, mess tomorrow, tidy up again, and I think we are ready to put this engine back in the car. The only thing I know we have to change is this, and actually I'm not 100% sure, because I say, okay, I need the engine in the right position, just to make sure where the turbo is, where everything sits. However, the Frog has the same setup. Okay, it's a VR5 turbo, but VR5 and VR6 is pretty much identical. The only thing is missing one cylinder, but the structure and the position of the engine and manifolds, everything is in the same position. So I can use that as a template, as a position where we have a space where to put everything. But it will be easier and quicker for me to build the exhaust manifold, obviously using these two into that twin scroll big turbo and have it here, because I can just wheelie this engine to where my welding bench is, and yeah, we'll just be more comfortable. So I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna put the engine in yet. I'm gonna wait till Monday, see if these flanges arrive. Although the T4 divided flange, we're waiting, because that one comes from America, because we found a very nice one, stainless CNC, and is actually the transition from round pipes into the square-ish holes of the twin scroll is built inside this flange, which is hence again a CNC exactly for that use, and it should adapt exactly the pipes we're using. So I don't know, it depending where that stuff arrives. If nothing arrives till Monday, then I'm definitely gonna put it in the chassis, because again, so much space there, it's not really a huge problem to do everything inside the car. That's the beauty of these engines, these conversions. I think that's it. Nothing much more. Nice for the body. This is, yeah, not small. That's it. Because then the fuel system is half built. Couple of mods. Well, no, when I'm talking crap, it's not half built. We have two Bosch pumps, a bigger in-tank pickup fuel pump. Oh Jesus, yeah, no, a lot of work there. Completely redesigned the fuel system. I was kidding myself. So much work, and then I still have to do the brakes. I still have the arms on the front to do poly bushes and everything. Anti-roll bars, brake lines, front coilover still to do. Yeah, I think I may have to pop down and do the weekend as well.